be the leader of the nation, and who those 256 people who will be leading us in parliament are. Please and please again, do not allow anybody use you as a tool or conduit for violence, and don't even use yourself as a tool of or conduit for violence. It's very necessary. Let's move on as a nation and let's enjoy the peace and stability we have as a nation. Today we'll bring you front story, we'll bring you our main discussion. Amongst all of the other things you enjoy the more, it's the day after the declaration of results. The EC has declared results and has declared who the president of the nation, the president-elect of the nation is. So there's so many conversations to be had, and we'll be glad to have that conversation with you. Rest assured, we'll be bringing you some very quality information and conversations around all of these. Let's take a breather when we are back. Front story. Welcome back and still watching ABCN The Morning. We are still your poll center, your guide to credible elections. This is front story. Following the elections, Ghanaians voted decided that some 276 MPs will be representing the Ghanaian people in Parliament. The question we're asking this morning is, what does the 9th Parliament hold for Ghanaians with more NPP MPs falling out? The political landscape of Ghana's 9th Parliament is set for a major shift as several incumbent MPs from the ruling New Patriotic Party have lost their seats. This development raises crucial questions about the composition, power dynamics, and overall outlook of the incoming parliament. Historically, the NPP has maintained a strong presence in parliament, which has enabled the party to push its legislative agenda with relative ease. However, with the loss of key MPs, including some who have served for multiple terms, the party's numerical strength and influence could diminish significantly. This shift could create a more balanced parliament, intensifying the need for consensus building and bipartisan cooperation on critical national issues. Several high-profile MPs with extensive parliamentary experience have failed to secure re-election. Beyond incumbents, some notable candidates who had been seen as strong contenders also missed out on parliamentary seats. This points to shifting voter preferences and the growing unpredictability of Ghanaian elections. The balance of power in the 9th Parliament could directly impact the speed and success of future government initiatives. With tighter numbers, it may be easier for the ruling party to push through its agenda with significant dialogue with the opposition, exactly like what has been experienced in the 8th Parliament with 137 for both caucuses. So these are some high-profile MPs and popular MPs who failed to secure their ticket to the next Parliament. High-profile MPs who are not returning to the 9th Parliament are Angie Appiah Kubi, who is the MP for Asante Achim North constituency and served from 2012 to 2024. Dr. Prince Appiah, MP for Kwesi Mintim constituency, serving from 2021 to 2024. Meku Duka, MP for Takwa and Suayem constituency, serving from 2017 to 2024. And Ambrose Derry, MP for Nandom constituency, serving from 2017 to 2024. Let's also take a look at the popular parliamentary candidates that a lot of people expected would be making, would be joining the parliament. But before that, high-profile MPs who lost their seats. Katie Hammond of the Adansi Asokwa constituency, who has served from 2001 to 2024, and also the Trade Minister Esla Owusu-Ekufo, MP for Ablekuma West, serving from 2012 to 2024, Minister for Communications. Henry Quartey, MP for the Ayawaso Central constituency, serving from 2012 to 2024, the Interior Minister. And Dakwa Newman, Okaikwe South constituency MP, serving from 2021 to 2024, Minister for Gender and Social Protection. And Sylvester Tete, MP for English Yamanfro constituency, serving from 2021 to 2024, Deputy Information Minister. Let's take a look at some popular parliamentary candidates who lost. Bernard Okoboy, Dr. Bernard Okoboy of the Lejokuku constituency, who had served in parliament from 2017 to 2021, and also Minister for Health. And Dom Kwabenya constituency parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the NPP, Mike Okwe Jr., former ambassador. They are popular MPs that a lot of people believed would be making, who would be coming into parliament. Bernard Okoboy would be making a comeback. Unfortunately, he lost to the NDC MP. So with all of these, what does it mean for parliament? The NDC in the 9th parliament will be a majority that holds a very high number of MPs in parliament. Yesterday, at the office of the president-elect John Mahama, we spoke with Honorable Francis Javier Sosu. We'll play that video for you shortly. But he spoke about how the NDC has a majority and what it will mean for the NDC. Remember, before we went to vote and Parliament was on recess or had been adjourned, there was a tussle in Parliament over majority status. There was a tussle for about a month and over. There was a tussle about majority status, and it had gone to Parliament and all that. The article under contention, Article 97, had come under scrutiny, where a lot of people had shared their opinion on this. Many believe that the next Parliament must have a decisive majority to avoid any other issues that could crop up. Now it looks like indeed there is a decisive majority, to the extent where it looks like the NDC will not need the NPP. If the conversations on social media is anything to go by, it looks like the NDC will not need the NPP to conduct government business in the next Parliament. But what does this mean for Ghanaians? What does it hold for our governance as a people? What does it hold for the next government that would be leading the nation? What does this even mean for the NPP, who will be occupying the minority position in Parliament? Will they just be an opposition that goes to Parliament and has no voice? What are the nuances that we will see in the next Parliament? These are questions that have arisen following the 2024 elections. Many did not believe that this elections will be like this, will turn out like this, where we would see such a huge showing of MPs in Parliament for the NDC. The NDC has won 30 out of 34 seats in the Greater Accra region, a very high number. The NDC, really a huge number of MPs going into parliament, what does it mean? To you as the Ghanaian, what does this inspire in you? What does it mean to you that all of this is happening? Do you think that it bodes well for our democracy, for our parliament, for everything that our parliament stands for? We would like to find all out about that. And does it mean that now the executive that will be taken over gets to have a very great day? Is that what it means? Because they have the numbers in parliament. You see on social media there's so many conversations about how with these numbers the executive gets to oust certain people from certain positions. Well, others have raised concerns that is really not it. It goes beyond what we are seeing. It's not as easy or as simple as that. Will that be so? Will that be so? But there's so many conversations about parliament and how this will bode for Ghanaians, on how it will bode for Ghanaians. The 9th parliament, what does this parliament hold for Ghanaians, with more NPP MPs falling out? With more NPP MPs falling out. In any case, how come the NPP MPs lost so many seats like that? What happened to cause them to lose so many seats like this? But this is the parliament we are going into 2025, 7th December. By 7th January, would see a new parliament, a reconstitution of parliament, because the 8th parliament would have ended. The 8th parliament would have ended, and this is a new beginning for Ghanaians. Let's see how it will chart our path as a democracy that continues to grow. So these are some of the retained seats in parliament. The NDC retained the Krowa seat, and the MP is Agnes Namomulate. The NDC also secured the Nkwanta North seat. Oti Blaise is the NP. Ahassan Suhini was re-elected as MP for Tamale North. Samuel Atamils retained the Commander Edina Eguafo Ebrim seat. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed won the Tamale Central seat. Rashid Pelpo retained the Wa Central seat. Zaneto Ajiman Rawlings retained the Klote Kole seat. And the NDC, these are some of the seats they have gained. Emilia Nkoma has flipped the Upper Dintra East seat in favor of the NDC. Felix Fosukwache claimed the Ibura Sebu Kwamankesi seats for the NDC. Godwin Animli Jodbaji Doranyi has also claimed that Dansia Sokwa seat, the seat that Katie Hammond has held all of these years. Reverend Kweku Ado also triumphed over Esla Ewusu Ekufo of the Ablekuma West and has claimed that seat for the NDC. So Esla Ewusu Ekufo is will no more be the MP for the Ablekuma West. Abdul Rauf Tonjim Tubazu claimed the Ayawaso Central seat from Henry Korte. Felix Akwete won the Botiano English man from seat by defeating Sylvester Tete. Rachel Owusua defeated Chumberima in the Doma East constituency, and Prince Ebenezer Ahen defeated Ophelia Mensah Hayford in the Infantiman seat. For the Infantiman seat, the NPP will continue to hold these seats. Gideon Boakon retaining the Tano North seat, and will hold the Tano North seat. But the NDC continues to hold on to so many seats, and you can see that they have done some very intensive work to be able to retain some seats and also to unseat some NPP MPs to maintain the majority, or to now become the majority in Parliament. What does this mean for the NDC? What does this mean for the NPP? The NDC has some bills in Parliament, some private members bill that private members pushed in Parliament. And what are they going to do with these seats? What are they going to do about these bills now that they have the majority of seats in Parliament? The NDC over 180 seats in Parliament. Really huge numbers. Really huge numbers. Last 4 years, in 2020, it was 137 apiece. 137 apiece. This time, NDC have shot up with over 180 seats to claim a very overwhelming and huge majority in Parliament. We'll have conversations in our subsequent conversations and in our subsequent shows about what this means. We tried getting in touch with some parliamentary watchers to have conversations. Unfortunately, we have not been successful with them, but rest assured we'll bring you more conversations on this. That's all for Front Story this morning on ABC in the Morning. We'll take a break. When we are back, Eric Melo Chineboa is up next with health tips. Stay with us.
This is where the headlines are probed. Policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it is a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Good.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana Television.
Hello there, welcome to the health segment on ABC in the morning. I am Eric Chinebwa Melo, here to share some health tips with you. Let me ask you a question. So how often do you have a good laugh? Now, the laughter that you give, is it enough? Or let me also ask, how often do you even make others laugh? What do you even know about humor and laughter? And also, did you know that these two acts can also positively affect your health? Well, let me help you out understand better. So today our conversation here on health has to do with laughter and humor. All right, so those of you who do not like to laugh, you don't even know anything about humor, when someone shares a humor, you take it so personal. Let's delve into it. So when we laugh at a friend, when we laugh at a friend's joke or comedian's performance, the benefit of humor extends to our health. Now, we are also not only entertained by only enhancing our physical, psychological, and social well-being. So here is how it works. Now, at its most basic level, laughter impacts our physical body. It also exercises our diaphragms and allows us to take in more oxygen and stimulating our lungs. And of course, moments of hearty laughter also relieves tension in our muscles, leading to several health benefits. A lot of people do say that what's the importance of even laughing? Even when someone cracks up a joke, it's not even, I mean, even if it's laughable, someone will say it's not laughable, but the person actually is dealing with a lot that he cannot even understand the importance of even giggling or laughter. So here are some of the importance of laughter. Just as you see on these screens, this popular viral video is very interesting when you come across it. It's very entertaining. So laughter really affects your heart's function. It means that laughter increases stroke volume and cardiac output, and it helps dilate blood vessels. Okay, so this is one important benefit of laughter. So it also improves your sleep. Laughing can also contribute to better sleep quality. Now, the more you laugh, the more you have more time, and I should say it contributes better to your sleep quality. If you don't sleep well, it means that you might have had a long day, a stress day, or stressful day, which is quite understandable. But when you laugh often, you release the energy and it gets you into a better mood sleep. You get it? Okay, so that's another side of the benefit of laughter. Then again, laughter improves your memory. Surprisingly, humor can also enhance memory retention. Now, when relevant humor is paired with a fact, we tend to also remember it better. The research also has shown that when participants find humor in the political news content, they have a higher enhance of recalling that important information. Now, speaking about political things, we know that a lot of MPs unfortunately have lost their feet, and one thing I like about most of the MPs is the fact that some of them have smartly considered defeat in a very interesting way. For instance, the some George's constituency, Nigo Pram, the MP who was trying to contest some George lost, and since he didn't want to be thrown, I mean, I'm guessing that he had a smart move of wanting to compensate that atrocious defeat, and so he and some George were in collaboration. They were laughing and just making mockery of his loss, which I think it was a very good one. Some of the MPs too lost, and it's as though hell is breaking loose already. It's a competition, okay? So just laugh over it. It's all part of the game. When your opponent laughs at you, take it at heart. It's part of the game. Your fans are trolling you. There's a popular song also trending on social media. We are using it. It's all part of releasing stress. So guys, don't take it personal, especially with our politicians. Then again, another importance of laughter is the fact that it lowers your stress hormones. So laughter reduces your levels of stress and your stress hormones with a cortisol. Okay, so the health personnel will tell you that when you laugh more, your hormones all the joint hormones in your body expands, and it gives you a better shape of living. And then again, laughter also boosts your self-esteem and mood. Now, a small 2015 trial found out that laughter is a therapy, and it also improves self-esteem and mood in cancer patients. A lot of you don't even laugh, and when someone sees you for the first time, because you have frowned your face, you do not even get to associate or get to have a personal relationship with your other colleagues. It's very, very terrible. For persons who do not laugh, they do not even have a lot of friends, let me just say, because the first time someone sees you, the smile you give, the laughter, that beautiful wild smile you give, for instance, what I'm doing right now. Yes, I know someone is angry because I'm laughing, but that's your business. So yes, it actually enhances existence between two persons. Again, laughter enhances work life. Okay, so humor can also significantly improve the quality of your work lives, and by relieving tension, it also reassures people and fostering connections, and it also strengthens bond among individuals. Now, this has to do with workplace. So if you have someone in the office who is always, you know, with a strong face, the person does not laugh, just go directly to the person, just smile to the person and see if the person will retaliate. If the person does not retaliate, it means that whatever that is dealing with the person is very strong, and not even your laughter can solve any issues the person is dealing through or going through. But that's by the way. Laughter is very, very much important. So it also increases your feel and gives you good chemicals. So laughter also raises levels of beta, and the body's feel good chemically, and increases your human growth hormone. Okay, so in all, what we want to say is, in times when you face economical, political, and health challenges, you can also tend to or resort to laughter. It is very much important. So as I'm here, I'm not, you can't even tell what is happening to me, but because I'm laughing, I'm all smiled up and I'm cheered up in the system, and you know, you see me laughing, you feel everything is okay with me, right? But if I don't tell you I'm going through something, you might not know. That's the beauty of laughter. Sometimes you just have to wear a smile. You know, your MP might have lost, you are a politician, you have lost, but just put on that smile. Let your constituents know that it's part of the game. You get it. It's part of the game. So in times when you're also facing economical challenges, you're going through social or political and health challenges, you also would have to put on or wear a smile. Now, this often is being overlooked. Someone says that I don't like someone who laughs a lot. Okay, when you laugh a lot, someone thinks you are growing, you know, bananas, or something is absolutely wrong with you up there. But it also protects our well-being, and a multitude of health benefits associated with the humor and laughter is also very extensive. So laughter is more than just a fleeting movement of joy. It can also provide real benefit for physical and psychological and social health. So we can also incorporate more humor into our lives by looking for all these methods, especially the opportunities to laugh, whether it's enjoying or favorite sitcom or sharing silly social media posts today. So even those MPs who lost their seats are also smiling. Please smile. Wear a smile. You've lost. It doesn't mean that you I mean, the world has ended. Just wear a smile. Be happy. Anyways, well, that's all for today. Join me again for another topic. I am Eric Chinebwamelo, and ABC in the Morning continues after this break.
This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it is a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to? Have you thought about managing that header?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana Television. This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to everything.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
You're welcome back. Still watching ABC in the morning. And like Melo told you, I mean, don't take too many things to heart. Ease yourself a bit, ease your heart up a bit so that you can live longer. Okay, I know that tensions are up in certain conversation. Maybe the things you wanted never happened and you are not too happy, but just calm down and take Melo's advice. It will help so much. Away from that, let's do Ghana Speaks.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
It's Ghana Speaks, where your voice matters, and it is your voice alone we want to hear. Today on Ghana Speaks, you can call us on 0539161609. The number will be on your screen. The question we are asking: which MP's loss surprised you? We just finished the election. Some MPs have fallen. They are not going back to parliament. Their constituents have voted them out in favor of their contender because their constituents want to give the contenders another chance, a chance to represent them, and don't want the MPs back in parliament anymore. Remember, parliament is the people's house, and our MPs go there to represent us. So as a Ghanaian and as someone who is represented in parliament by an MP, which of the MP's laws surprised you the most? We want to hear from you. Call us on 0539161609, 0539161609, and share with us what you think about the MPs who have lost their seats. Some of the MPs, nobody thought they would lose their seats. The seats so much looked like they were the most secure of seats in parliament. These elections have been an election of surprises. Who has surprised you by losing their seats? Which seat has left which party, and how did that surprise you? Call us on 0539161609, 0539161609, and let's talk. We really want to hear from you. It is your voice and your voice alone that matters. It's your voice alone we want to hear here on Ghana Speaks. So call us and let's have a conversation with you. 0539161609. Additionally, you can leave your comments under our YouTube live. We are live on YouTube. You can leave your comments there and we will read the comments for you. You can send us a DM on socials at ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _ and we will take a look at it and read it for everybody to know that you shared that comment. Let us know. Well, some of the MPs who have lost their seats, very surprising. Nobody thought they were going to lose their seats. Katie Hammond of Adansia Sokwa, Esle Owusu Ekufo of Ablekuma West, Henry Korte of Ayawaso Central, and Mekuduka of Takwa and Suyayem. They lost their seats, and the Apia Kubi Asante Achim North constituency, Ambrose Derry of Nandom also lost his seat. Dr. Prince Ama lost of Kwesimintim constituency also lost his seat. Dakwa Newman of the Okankwe South constituency also lost his seat. She's not coming back. Sylvester Tete of the Botiano English Yamanfro also lost his seat. Most people thought Dr. Bernard Okoboy was going to return to Lejokuku. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Ambassador Mike Okwe Jr., a lot more thought that after the exit of Adwoa Safo from the Dom Kwabenya, after he beat her in the primaries, he was going to grab the seat for the NPP in Dom Kwabenya, looking at the fact that Dom Kwabenya is their seat. It happened that NDC triumphed there. So these are the MPs that have been affected. Among many others, many MPP MPs have been affected in these elections so much. And whose own has surprised you the more? Which MP's loss has surprised you the more? You can tell us, and we'll be glad to hear from you. 0539161609, 0539161609. Which MP's loss has surprised you the most? Let's have a conversation with you on ABC in the morning. Hawa Kumsen of the Ewutu Senya East also lost her seat. She lost her seat. Lydia Sarah Malhassan of Ayawaso West Wogon has lost her seat. Ijapa Mesa of Sekendi also lost his seat. There's so many MPP MPs have lost their seats in this elections. Many of them have lost their seats. What does it mean to you? In any case, whose own surprised you so much? How surprised are you that these people lost their seats? Okay, how surprised are you that these people lost their seat? Let's have some conversation on that. 053916 1609 053916 1609, and then we can we want to hear from you. It says your voice alone that matters. But the NPP MPs who are left, who will be in parliament, how is this going to affect their morale? How is this going to boost their morale? Who had the Hohoi seat for the NPP also lost the seat. Bitamewu lost the seat, and how does this bode for them? So many people losing their seats in this stretch. Patrick Abuama of the Okaikwe North also losing the seat to Sadiq, the first timer who be in parliament. What does this mean to you? Indeed, how do you take this? Did you think that they were going to lose so many seats? The NPP was going to lose so many seats like this? Did you think in your wildest dreams or in your wildest thoughts that they were going to lose their seats? In Esikado Ketan, NPP has lost that seat too. Grace Ayensu Dankwa claimed the seat. Charles Bisu was looking at retaining the seat for the NPP. It didn't work for them, so Grace Ayensu Dankwa has won the seat. These are some of the seats that have gone to the NDC. Most of the seats that have gone to the NDC at the detriment of the NPP. How does this feel? In Greater Accra, 30 out of 34 seats for the NDC. 30 out of some 34 seats for the NDC. How does it feel? Valentino Ninoy Norte was looking at grabbing the seats from Zaneto Ajaman Rollins. It was not to be, as she has retained the seat. Joseph Addo was also looking at unseating Retana Odole Soa of the Ladade Kotopon, and it was also not to be because Retana Odole Soa has retained the seat here in Ladade Kotopon. Same for Isujaman. Thomas and Pemnyakun beat Pius Enam Hajide to win the seat, that seat from them. And this is what it is like. Whose results have shocked you? In any case, are you even shocked by the results, or you expected the results to go the way they have gone? Is that what you expected? The way the results went, is that what you thought it would be? You can share with us. And in Botiano English Yamanfru, Ukle Felix Akwete beat Sylvester Tete. He won by 37,473 votes. So Sylvester Tete trailing behind with 27,888 votes. Very high margins to win the seat from him. And this is how it's affected the NPP. It's affected the NPP that much in these elections. NPP very few seats compared to the seats they had 4 years ago. How are they going to conduct themselves in parliament? How are the NDC also going to conduct themselves in parliament? What are we going to see? Are we going to see something extremely different from what we've been used to in the past 4 years? What will be the dynamics in this year's elections? Francis Javier Sosu retained his seat in the Medina constituency. In Adenta to Adamu Ramadan has also retained his seat, making history. We have an active caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. My name is Togbo. I'm calling from Teshi.
Okay, Togbo, which MP's law surprised you the most?
My particular will not be Ofane Benoriga.
Ofane Riomoga.
Ofane Nino Okoboy.
Okay. Minewo Okoboy no.
Because I Teshi be Illinois Fiame. Illinois Ametawa. Ayiku eke kondo shike Okoboy ba kake ane chile. Okoboy ke nibiti eba. Esi tashigbe doni jo manet keba. Ayiku tashile teje yo. Si iluni tashibi tawo ame voti tashile. Ewo mi ke tashibi ake ame bele ame ngemi. 4 years ine na ya ne. Ame bele ame ngemi. Okoboy ke di ganyo. Okoboy ka ko na ye eke ambulance ba ya.
Okay.
Eke ambulance ba ya.
Okay. Oyiwadon. So he says that he does not understand why the people of Lejokuku did not vote for Bernard Okoboy, because the current MP, who has also been given another term, did not endear himself. He did not do much work to warrant a second term, and that Okoboy has done better than him. The people of Lejokuku should have given Okoboy another chance, and he bemoans that if the people of Lejokuku do not take care, Okoboy will take away his ambulance. Well, since we don't, we can't say with all certainty that is what will happen, but that's what he thinks. So it is Okoboy's laws that has surprised him, and you can see that he's very upset that happened. You can also call us on 0539161609 and tell us which MP's law surprised you. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. My name is Pius. I'm calling from Choco.
Pius, we would really love to hear you. Kindly turn down the volume of your TV so that we can hear you. Hello, Pius. Okay, we've lost Pius. When you call us, kindly turn down the volume of your TV so that we can hear you. Turn down the volume of your TV so we can hear you. 0539161609 is the number to call. And the question we are asking you is, which MP's loss surprised you? Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, hello, good morning. I was Pius, the one who called in.
Okay, Pius, which MP's law surprised you?
Ahmed Shahid at Bawi Weja.
Yeah, but Ahmed won, didn't he?
Yeah, he won. I'm really surprised because he worked very, very, very hard.
You are surprised he won?
Yeah.
But you're also saying he has worked hard.
Yes. Because in my constituency at Choco, the MP, they didn't do anything, but he won.
Who is the MP in your place?
Honorable Alfredo Kovanapo, Ablek Matau.
Okay. Thank you, Pius. So you can call us on 0539161609 and let's have conversations. Tell us which MP's loss has surprised you the most. Which MP's loss surprised you the most? Let's have some conversations on that. 0539161609. And when you call us, do well to turn down the volume of your TV so we can hear you, so that we can hear you. We'll take a few calls before we end the segment. But at the moment, the NDC has an overwhelming majority in Parliament, having won over 180 seats out of the 276 seats in Parliament. An overwhelming majority in Parliament. We will see how we will vote for our Ghanaian Parliament, how it votes for our democracy as we move on as a nation. 9th Parliament, what will it hold for the people of Ghana? What will this 9th Parliament hold for the people of Ghana? We are here to look at it, and we will see the dynamics and the turns that this Parliament will take. We'll see where it takes. But we're streaming live on our YouTube. The channel is ABC News GH. Our socials at ABC News GH _ and our website is www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com. You can call us and let us know what you think. Let's know what you think. We'll open the phone line some other time and then take your thoughts on all that has happened around this year's elections. Very interesting elections we've had. We are grateful that regardless of some of the unrest that happened that we're unhappy about, it's been relatively a calm one. It's been relatively a peaceful elections, and we're grateful that finally the EC has declared the winner of the elections. We now have a president-elect of the 2024 general elections who will be sworn in on January 7th. That's all for Ghana Speaks. We'll take a break. We will be back with more. Well, you're welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning live on ABC News GH. We remind you that we're streaming on our YouTube channel, ABC News GH. If you haven't subscribed, we entreat you to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so that anytime we are live, you will be updated with what we're doing. We're heading straight into our discussion for today. This year's elections, 2024 elections, John Dramani Mahama, former president, has made history as the only president to have lost an election and come back. So he's made a comeback as the president again. Right now he is the president-elect. Not only has he made a comeback as president by making history with that, he's also made history with a 56.55% win. That is the percentage he made from this elections. And yesterday when he gave his speech at his office, he thanked Ghanaians for a resounding victory and said that he accepts the mandate as president-elect. And the wait is over after several months of anticipation regarding the next president of the Republic of Ghana. The dust has finally settled. Ghana has elected its next president, as confirmed yesterday by the Electoral Commission chairperson, Jean Mensa. Jean Mensa has officially declared John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress as the president-elect in the 2024 general elections. The polls held across the country on Saturday, December 7, resulted in a landslide victory for the former president. According to Jean Mensa, John Mahama received some 6,328,397 votes, representing 56.55% of the total valid votes. while the Vice President and presidential candidate of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, secured 4,657,304 votes, representing 41.61%. Jean Mensah explained that these results were collated from 267 constituencies, with outstanding issues in 9 constituencies whose results are yet to be reported. She emphasized that even if the results from the 9 constituencies, which total a little over 947,000 votes, were added to the votes of Dr. Bawumia, it would not affect the declaration of John Mahama as the winner. The difference between Mr. Mahama's votes and Dr. Bawumia's is 1,671,093 votes. Jean Mensah reported that the total valid votes amounted to 11,191,422, with 239,109 rejected ballots. The total votes cast were 11,430,531, while the register had a total of 18,774,159 voters. The voter turnout in the 2020 election stands at 60.9% based on the 267 constituencies. In addition, the keen contest between the two major parties, NPP and NDC, were also competition. In addition to the key contest between the NPP and the NDC, there was also competition for the third force, represented by Alan Kwadwo of the Movement for Change and Nana Kwame Bediako, affectionately known as Cheddar. Surprisingly, Nana Kwame Bediako received 84,488 votes, accounting for 0.75% of the votes, while Alan Kwadwo received 31,022 votes, accounting for 0.28%. So if there is any third force in this year's elections, Nana Kwame Bediako surpasses Alan Kwadwo to place himself as a third force in these elections. Before we get into this discussion on the elections, let's take a moment to watch how the EC chair, Jean Mensah, announced the results, declaring John Dramani Mahama as the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
Officer of the 2024 presidential election to declare His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the 2024 presidential election and the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana with a total percentage of 56.55%. Congratulations, sir. It is finished. Thank you very much. Election, 2024 presidential election, to declare His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the winner of the 2024 presidential election and the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana with a total percentage of 56.55%. Congratulations, sir. It is finished. Thank you very much.
So with 56.55%, John Dramani Mahama has been announced as the president-elect for the Republic of Ghana. Following this announcement, the president-elect, John Dramani Mahama, expressed his gratitude to Ghanaians for their overwhelming support and emphasized how his new government will work to ensure that Ghana is back on track. He mentioned that he received not only a call from Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, but also from President Akufo-Addo, who has invited him to the Jubilee House to start the process for transition of power. So it will be done real quick and real soon. But these are some of the social contracts and some of the things captured in John Mahama's social contracts with Ghanaians. He says he looks at achieving these in the first 120 days of assuming power. 1. To nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. 2. To constitute the leanest and the most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in his first 90 days in office. And he says he will establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. He will also hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. So these are some of the things he's looking at in the first 120 days of assumption of we're all earnestly and looking forward to it, anticipating how he will achieve all of these captured in his social contract in the first 120 days. Yesterday he had a lot to say at when he gave the speech. We'll take a look at that, but before that, let's have some conversations. But first, Dr. Donald Agumenu is a governance expert. Dr. Agumenu, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
It's a pleasure hearing from you.
Yes. John Dramani Mahama has been declared or announced as the president-elect for the country with 56.55%, making history, and also making history again as a president who was voted out of power and coming back. He says that it has been a difficult period in waiting, but he's been crowned. As a governance aspect, from where you stand, what does all of this mean to us as a people, as Ghanaians?
Yeah, first of all, let's thank the Almighty God for granting us the grace and the spirit of peace for what has happened. You know, when you look at the situation at this moment, you come to realize that we cannot joke with the power of the people. We cannot joke with the voice of the grassroots. Ghanaians have spoken loudly, and it's important for us to recognize that and administer governance to the best of its form. I must use this moment once again to congratulate the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and also thank the political actors and the MPP flag bearer. Coming to the issues of governance, I think this whole outcome is born out of the prevailing situation that we find ourselves as a country. And also when you look at policies that were promised by the current government, issues about employment, issues about industrialization, and many other things. For instance, when you look at the MPP promises, one major one that is all over the place, like planting for food and jobs, one factory, one district, one factory, and many others. I keep on saying that, where are the factories? Where are the $1 million per constituency? Is it that there was no policy commitment or policy paralysis? When you go deeper into all these things, you come to realize that there is no way you can achieve a higher result when the policies or the promises that you gave to the people are not effectively or efficiently implemented. The situation is such that look at the American election. The economy became one of the leading, if not the major factor driving how voters think, how the youth, especially the rate of unemployment, and other factors. For instance, the economic situation in regards to exchange rates, overly depending on imports, and the rate at which the cedi started collapsing. All these factors really contributed to this very outcome. Now, when you look at the NDC manifesto and the promises coming each and every day, vis-a-vis that of the previous projects and programs implemented by the NDC government, you would agree with me that Ghanaians resonated with some of those major policies and programs. What is left now is for us to be able to hold leadership accountable and also asking leadership to be truthful to the citizenry, being more accountable, and let the people clap for you that you are doing the right thing. Not the other way around, that you rather clap for yourself, and when you are asked, why are you clapping for yourself, you will say that I have digitized the whole economy and all that. No. Ghanaians and human beings at large will tell you that no. We have our own tools of assessment, whether you are educated or not. One key factor that is outstanding is when a child tells you that I'm hungry, no amount of convictions, no amount of words, no amount of persuasions can change the situation of the hunger unless you give food or what the child needs. Ghanaians at a point started saying that we are hungry, we are tired, we need this. You've not fulfilled A, B, C, D. I think that was so loud, and what was left for the government to do at the time is to listen to the people, because governance is like, or political governance is like a rented facility. You have 4 years to live in this facility. After 4 years, if we want to renew the agreement, we have the right as citizens to renew the agreement. But agreement is anchored on specific deliverables, specific outcomes, specific expectations. And no amount of your propaganda, no amount of theory or whatever can change the minds of the people. And this day and age of social media or digital media, people can easily do their own monitoring and evaluation when it comes to projects and programs that you've implemented. Gone were days where you need a mainstream media to go and verify a project and come back to validate and report to the citizenry. At this moment, citizen journalism is at the top. So people can take their own phones. When you say that I've completed a dam at location A or B, they can go there, do their own verifications, reports, and inform the public before even the mainstream media will come in to validate. So these are some of the things that I think moving forward, we need to properly address some of these things. For instance, the NDC government is coming to promote or implement 24-hour economy. What is at stake now is how can we empirically, scientifically say that this is how the 24-hour economy will be done. The message is very clear. Now what is left is the implementation. And Ghanaians are waiting, and I believe that that is not a rocket science. What is left is for us to stick to the policies, and listen to the people, a bit more diligently, because we lead the people. Governance is for the people. The people are the ones that gave you the right, the authority to rule them or to govern them. So, just to summarize, I think what is necessary at this moment is all the political institutions, all the political actors should now come to the table to do some introspection and accept the fact that we cannot govern anyhow, because a day of accountability will come. This election, for me, it's like a democratic revolution that Ghanaians have really shown to, to the whole world, that the days of gun is gone, but we have the power of the tongue to really tell leadership across the world that this is how we measure results. This is how, if we want to implement project A, B, C, D, we say that for every project, there is a scope to it. Are we within scope, or we are getting off the scope? Are we within time to implement the projects in achieving the promises that we give to the people? Because you may have a good intention that I want to finish this project in 4 years, but when the scope changes, you will come to realize that it would affect the time, it would affect the costs, and the people that are involved will also be affected. So at the end of the day, it's important for us as a people to look at some of these things so that we don't keep on adding things anyhow at any time and thinking that the people are not watching. President Mahama would come in, and I'm glad that transition would be expedited, and within the shortest time, the government will be activated. The promises that are given to the people will start to work. What is key is for us to equally appreciate that there are critical things to look at. How do we then begin to turn the economy around? How do we empower local institutions? How do we empower massive industrialization? The industries that are there, how can we look at, for instance, companies that are into exports? How do we increase exports and lower importation? When you look at companies that are into, for instance, even food alone, if we can reduce the level of imports and develop local agriculture, you come to realize that egg alone can give you a lot of money and reduce the cost of buying dollar to be importing rice, sugar, and all those things. So, in a nutshell, the NDC government has a lot at stake, and I believe that with the lessons learned so far, with a framework in place, with our collective support, we should be able to actualize some thematic issues and put Ghana forward. Okay. One thing I believe is we cannot do all, and if a government comes in place and the outcome is we are going to take care of all the roads, if you are able to do all the roads properly, Ghanaians will see it because they drive on the roads. You look at the e-blocks that President Mahama started in 2016.
Dr. Agumenu, I will come back to you on the e-blogs, but let's look at the overwhelming majority the NDC now has in Parliament. We've seen how this 8th Parliament has played out with a virtually hung Parliament and all of the characteristics that have accompanied it. Now, we're entering a 9th Parliament that has an extremely high majority for the NDC. How does this play into our democracy in order to enhance it? Or is it going to be the bane of our democracy?
Yes, thank you. You know, when you look at the structure and the constitution that governs parliamentary governance, the basic thing is the parliamentarians are representing the people. People are the ones that put the parliamentarians there. Even if it's 100%, the parliamentarians had not or have not chosen themselves. So that is the will of the people. The will of the people is what is represented in Parliament. So I trust in the will of the people, and I believe that they will do the right thing to represent the sovereign will of the people. What is key is for us to democratize democracy and governance in such a way that the people can feel fully represented. You understand? So for me, the situation is good. And the lessons that we have to learn is for us to get to this state should tell you that something went wrong. Because to move from 137/136 vis-a-vis that of the controversies that landed to the final state where we saw Parliament virtually under stress. And to move to this level where the ruling government will now be hovering around 85 thereabouts, that should tell you that no, something terrible had happened. And that is the voice of the people. So that should not be taken lightly at all. There's no way we can re-emphasize, the voice of the people. What is left now is how can we respect the voice of the people and represent them properly, because you go and make policies, you go and make laws, and that must reflect in the lives of the people. If the people need water, it shouldn't be difficult for them to have water. If the people are saying that our roads are not good, and you feel that because you become an MP, you don't have time for them. It's just 4 years, contracts. After the 4 years, the people will show you that we are terminating the contract with you. So for me, I would say that this situation is good. It has brought a new dynamic into our socio-political structure, and it redefines again the power of the people vis-a-vis the power of a few selected people.
Okay.
Because look at the situation that happened between Parliament and the Supreme Court. Not going so deep into that, you come to realize that now the debate is over because people have spoken. Now, it is not the voice of the courts, but rather the voice of the people. So these are some of the things that we need to wake up to and begin to administer governance in a better way. You can choose to use words and all those things, but the reflection is people at the end of the day, they don't have the legitimate right to come to the courts or Parliament to administer anything.
Okay.
So the only thing they will do is to wait patiently, at least talk, lament, but at the end of the 4 years, they will show you that this is where the power lies. In one of my statements a few months ago, I think about 3 months ago, I said this election, the wind of change is going to be that of a technical knockout. And when you go deeper into it, you come to realize that that is actually what we are seeing today, because Bawumia, as the chairman of the economic management team, to me, had performed abysmally, because you are in a leadership position, and if you really have what it takes, technically and experientially, to change the situation, he would have changed it. And that is what the people really touched on. And the message is very clear. So we pray for peace. We pray for progressive development. We pray that the incoming administration would also listen to the people, which I have no doubts that even from where President Mahama had come from, he's gone through a lot of traumatic experiences. Becoming a president, moving out, contesting again, watching to see governance flowing for 8 good years, coming back. That is also a challenge to him as an individual before we even talk about the whole government. Okay. Because it puts him in a situation where it's like telling you that, no, do not take Ghanaians for granted. You have a role to play. This is a phase of legacy that you have to ensure that cannot be compromised. So it's a two-edged sword, and I have no doubts that he, as an individual, is conscious of this because of all the experiences that he's gone through in implementing projects and programs, and also watching us, watching at the front line to see how this governance, played out. So basically, I do not think there is anything to be worried about in terms of the parliamentary structure. Right. What is key is staying to discipline, raising the bar of integrity, being accountable to ourselves and to the people, and on top of that, remaining truthful to the principles. If you know that you are handling a sector and you have a challenge, Ghanaians are discerning people. You get to them and tell them that this delay is caused by ABCD. If we can find a way to be a bit more truthful to the people that put us there, we should be able to administer governance in a more efficient way. There's no need even troubling ourselves so much. Some of these things, the people will tell you that you are doing well, and what is key is to open your ears and listen and begin to take them to where they have not even expected.
All right. Dr. Agumenu, we are grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Dr. Donald Agumenu is a governance expert. He says that the overwhelming majority in Parliament is not something we should be worried about. There's nothing to worry about it. It is actually a good situation for Parliament. Let's speak with the Deputy Director of Elections and IT at the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko. Dr. Tanko, good morning. Hello, Dr. Tanko. Dr. Rashid Tanko. We're still establishing contact with Dr. Rashid Tanko. He is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT at the NDC. We've had so many conversations with him in the lead up to the elections. Now, the EC has announced the winner of the elections. The president-elect is from his party, the NDC. What does this mean to Dr. Rashid Tanko and the whole of the NDC? Dr. Rashid Tanko.
Hello, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Congratulations. I think I don't need to ask you how you are doing. Your white shirt shows me you are doing well.
Well, I told you before, if you go and play back our tapes, I'm sure the congratulation is even other statements.
Well, Dr. Tanko, it's you've been on a long road, 8 years in opposition, and you have sold your flag bearer, your candidate, to the people of Ghana that he is the alternative Ghanaians need. And in an overwhelming fashion, Ghanaians have given him 56.55% of the vote to become president, making history. How significant is this achievement for the NDC?
Yeah, let me, before I begin, I want to say a very big morning to your cherished viewers and to you yourself and all the workers of ABC News. You've been part of all these processes, and then we want to thank Ghanaians, in fact, for the yeoman's job they've done and trying to rescue our democracy by coming out massively to vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. It means a lot to me in person as a young man who saw the Third Republic and then the Fourth Republic. We saw what happened there and how things spun out. And then so we're ready to defend this democracy. If this vote has gone the other way, then we would have lost the democracy completely. We were going for a terrible situation where we will end up having one-party system, a system that will have no respect for Ghanaians, a system that will dissipate the economy, the economy of Ghana and get away with it. The kind of impunity that was going on in this country, if they hadn't stopped it, your guess is as good as mine. So it means a lot to us as a party. That's why we work assiduously to make sure that we stop these people. And so when you saw us with our firebrand during the campaign period, attacking the Electoral Commission to make sure that they do the right thing, this was what we were looking for. We just wanted to reset the country, bring back the glory that Ghana used to be. You'll see that yesterday at the declaration, you saw the American ambassador and then the British High Commissioner. They were full of praises for Ghana and the praises went straight to the NDC. Because, I didn't know, because of the NDC, this Electoral Commission, they were going to give us a wrong president. They were preparing the grounds to foist on us a wrong president. And that's why we stood our grounds and stopped it. And also it means a lot to us as a political party and for the good people of Ghana. And so this congratulation, we give it to the good people of Ghana. We want to congratulate the people of Ghana for coming out to stop bad governance. Because if they hadn't come out massively to vote. And secondly, we have made history that a political party in opposition for 8 years will organize itself, come out strongly to beat a ruling government, a very vindictive ruling government, which had the full support of the Electoral Commission. Because what we saw during the period was very clear that we were fighting two opponents. We were to fight the Electoral Commission and fight our main opponent, which is the MPP. We combined the two forces together and beat them 56%. I'm sure you wrote what I told you to write on your wall during our last interview. You know, I was telling you that we won't beat these people less than 54%. Do you remember?
Yes, you did say that.
Yes, I knew what I was doing because I knew these two disorganized people, we were going to beat them and beat them hands down. And it came to pass. Look, this parliamentary thing, they are struggling to make 85 seats in parliament. NPP is a very disorganized party. People don't know. We knew that this was a disorganized party which was being aided by the Electoral Commission. It wasn't a very organized party. Very disorganized party. So I knew that we were not going to beat them less than 54%. There was no way they would cross anything. And I said it time and again that if Bawumia managed to get 40%, then the man tried. So I wasn't surprised with the results he got. I wasn't just surprised because in all their, look, we're monitoring their activities, monitoring their strategy and plans. And I knew that, oh, these people are finished. If this is what they were going to bring in, on the table for us to fight on, then they are finished. And so this our majority we got in parliament is for the good people of Ghana. Because we will go and remove all the obnoxious laws these people passed. We are going to remove them. Those obnoxious taxes they place on Ghana, the good people of Ghana. That crumbled people businesses. That made you and I to be going for 100 or 010. I'm sure you know the formula. We are going to remove them and bring glory back to Ghana business. We want Ghanaian business to thrive.
Dr.
The economy to come back.
With this overwhelming majority, many have also raised concerns that you may take advantage of it and abuse the majority. How are you in the NDC going to make sure that your MPs are not abusing the majority status they will be gaining come the 9th Parliament?
Look, we are not going to take this mandate given to us by the good people of Ghana lightly. No. We are not going to abuse it at all. We've seen it. You know why the NPP went down the drain like that? Because of abuse of power. Abuse of power. The impunity of abuse of power. That is why the Ghanaian people voted them out like that. So we'll learn our lessons from this. We are not going to abuse the power they've entrusted to our hands. No. We are not going to do that. We will make sure that this majority inure to the benefit of the ordinary Ghanaian. Any policies that we are going to implement and pass through Parliament, we will make sure that the ordinary Ghanaian is at the back of our minds. We are going to think about them before we implement it. We are going to think about it. We have to make sure that the ordinary Ghanaians enjoy the fruit of their labor. That is what we are going to do. And I can assure you, in fact, listening to what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said in his acceptance speech yesterday, it was so diplomatic and it was so straight to the bottom of our problem. I mean, he said it all. He gave assurances to Ghanaians, especially the ordinary Ghanaians, the workers, the Ghanaian workers. He gave them assurances. We are coming to better their lot. We are coming to better their lot. He said we are not going to stop ongoing projects. During the campaign era, he said it time and again. We will complete all the ongoing projects. Even the ones which are not completed and they went ahead and commissioned them, we will go back and complete them. You saw the last minute commissioning he was doing. None of them were completed. None. Go back and see. People are working. They are still working over there. Contractors are still on site. But they hurriedly went and commissioned them just looking for votes, abusing state resources all over. We are not going to do that. We'll complete them because these are taxpayers' money. And so we can't just leave them like that. We will complete all the uncompleted projects and begin to implement policies that Ghanaians will say, yes, we are now in Ghana. We are now Ghanaians. And I can assure you a lot of our brethren who always strong at the embassies looking for visas to travel out will not. They will want to stay back in Ghana to enjoy. For the past 3-4 years.
Since you're talking about some of the things President-elect John Dramani Mahama said yesterday when he was giving his speech, let me hold you and then let's take a listen. Let's let Ghanaians also listen to what he said.
I also just received a call from His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo graciously extended his congratulations to me, and we had the opportunity to discuss matters related to the Joint Transitional Team. We agreed on an early inauguration of the Joint Transitional Team as early as Wednesday, the 11th of December. I conveyed my sincerest regards to him and expressed my readiness for us to work together to ensure a smooth transition in the best interest of the Ghanaian people. The results of this election, as declared today by the Electoral Commissioner, show that the National Democratic Congress, with me, John Dramani Mahama as leader, has just chalked one of the most emphatic victories in the electoral history of the Fourth Republic. We have therefore been bestowed with a very outstanding mandate by the good people of Ghana. I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive such an overwhelming endorsement from the Ghanaian people. And I wish to thank all who made this possible by going out to vote for me. I thank all Ghanaians, both at home and abroad, for your continued belief in our democracy, despite the severe crisis our nation is going through. I also congratulate our parliamentary candidates who have also swept the electoral landscape with a very resounding victory. I have a legion of thanks to give for this emphatic electoral success. And let me begin again by thanking the Almighty God, the creator of heaven and earth, for protecting and preserving us through this whole campaign period. And to paraphrase the psalmist, I also give thanks to God for preparing a table before me
the president-elect John Dramani Mahama yesterday at his office when he addressed Ghanaians. He thanked Ghanaians for the support, and he's said that he's very committed to the growth of the nation. One thing he said, quoting the Bible, that the Lord has prepared a table before him in the presence of his enemies. Dr. Tanko. Hello, Dr. Tanko.
Yes, I can hear you.
The president-elect says that the Lord has prepared a table before him in the presence of his enemies. Who are those enemies? I don't think he had any enemies in Ghana. Do you think so?
Well, I'm sure you are in the media landscape. You've been following trends in Ghana for some time now. I'm sure you saw the speeches people were making in the country, talking about him, his demeanor, his lifestyle, and all that, running down his policies, what he did when he was in office. I mean, it was just terrible. It was just terrible. To the extent people will say, look, I'll not hand over to a person I've defeated before. Somebody will continue to be in history as a one-time president, the only one-time president we have in Ghana, and all that. I mean, I need not recount them. You know them. You know them. They least expected he will come back. They least expected it because they knew what they were doing with the Electoral Commission and all that, what they have planned to do. But we were smarter than them. They went and got some chop bar researchers to come and put out some chop bar analysis and giving them heads up. You remember that one professor, Smart, or what they call Smart, and I was telling you that he wasn't smart at all. He should come. You see, that's why we're having unemployed graduates a lot like that. Because people like that are training graduates. They will go and use their biases to train them. They won't train them proper. They'll come out, they cannot be employed. You see, people like that.
Dr. Tanko, that's his academic credentials. As an academician yourself, would you describe him as chop bar? That is quite demeaning. And
dear, you remember this is not the first time I told you that he wasn't smart. You remember? That analysis that he brought out was completely out of order. Academicians like him would not come out with such a research. No. It was completely out of order. It was just there to brainwash Ghanaians and fool Ghanaians with all manner of academic tricks that he was trying to play out there. Look at the results and compare that one to his research. Just look at these current results. Compare that one to what he brought out. Does it make sense to anybody? That's what I'm talking about. Because, look, when I was telling you that we will beat these people not less than 54%, compare that one to his. Because I knew what I did, the research we worked on, and the tools that we deployed to gather our information. Are you getting it? Analyze it, and came out with the percentage I was giving you people. Compare that one to what he was doing, which was too academic than what we did. That's why we say, not that I'm demeaning his qualification. Yes, I know him. He's a qualified professor, but you don't allow your biases to cloud your judgment. And so when the president, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, was talking about this one, he was referring to people like that, characters like that, who came out and was running him down. The presidency, the Flagstaff House, they just opened a whole office of fake news. They were churning out fake news from the office every day. Today, he's back. The Ghanaians believe in him. Ghanaians believe that he's the right person to take us to the glory where we are all looking for. He's the right person. And then so what he said was biblical, and we go by it. And we believe that at the right time, let's mark our time. He marked his time. We should have won the 2020 election. But God knows why.
Okay. On Sunday when we spoke with you following the results coming in, we mentioned that we had received some news about some vandalism going on in certain places. You said you hadn't seen it, but beyond that, yesterday conversations came up, videos came up about your members of your party vandalizing property and all. At the speech, your chairman and the president-elect also mentioned that your party members should be measured in their excitement and also tone down on what they are doing. This thing that has happened, what is NDC going to do to calm down your supporters? You have won the elections already, but the actions of some of your supporters seek to prove otherwise, as if you are the ones who have rather lost. What is the party doing to check them?
I'll take this opportunity to recall what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said yesterday, that we should be measured in our celebration and all that. Don't forget, the General Secretary also issued a statement. I'm not sure whether you've seen that statement. He issued a statement about what is going on and call on our members to restrain themselves. And let's just go through the transition process. We know they have looted a lot. We know. You see, the anger of them, the anger in most of our members, if they are going to vent itself, they cannot stop them.
But Dr. Sanko, one would rather have thought
I'm saying that I'm not going to justify anything. But just a week to the election, we saw, all of them, they saw how state resources were being dissipated by these people. Truckloads of rice, truckloads of cooking oil. Look, Courtesy boys, this the Amani, truckloads of them were being moved from Accra to the hinterlands, to the districts. For what? Fridges, air conditioners, TV sets were being loaded and carted away to the constituencies. I was in Western Region. What I saw was terrible. What for? Vote by state resources. You are dissipating state resources like this. What do you expect the boys to do? When they see things like this, they'll go after it. They know that this our tax money the people have looted
one would rather
to try and come and use it to
one would rather think the party that lost will do that. I'm also coming from the fact that as your party has won, you are saying that they've seen people spend oil and all the things you've mentioned. If your party has lost, has won, aren't you rather confident that now that they are coming, life will be easier for you to enjoy? Why go and loot when it's your party that is now coming to suffer for some of the things that are happening? You will think that.
I'm saying that this way they are using it. Look, I am not going to justify anything. Our party members, they don't go to loot anybody proper. Have they looted anybody? They haven't. We are just calling on them to restrain themselves. Okay? But this way they are those who looted state resources. They are the people you should be using the word for. You know them. But you see, I don't know why you, the media, would want to carve a word loot for these young guys who are venting their anger on thieves.
So, Dr. Sanko, what word would you want us to use to describe their
those
actions?
People have stolen state resources, and they use those state resources to buy those equipment, those foodstuffs, to use it to change the electoral fortunes of Ghana. That's what they were trying to do. And I'm saying that, look, we have called them to restrain themselves. His Excellency spoke about it. And as a party, our General Secretary also issued a statement. We are doing something. But don't forget, we are not in power now. We don't control the state security. We don't control the state security as of now. So, if you are going to talk to, yes, we will talk to them to restrain themselves. But the onus lie on the state security to also do their work.
Okay. Well, if the onus lies,
but we haven't. We know that our party members have not looted anything. They have not gone on looting spree that people are talking. They have not looted anybody's property. You should tell them whose property have they looted.
Okay. Well, you say that the onus lies on the state security to be the ones to take charge of things. Yesterday, there was also a video that surfaced about your deputy communications, of one of your deputy communications officer in your party, Malik Basintali, where he was warning a state security person that by 7th January he will see his level and all. Doesn't some of these things also go to ginger the support base to do some of the things they do? Because if a leader in my party is seen on live TV threatening a police, threatening a security person, isn't this sending a very wrong signal to your base so that they feel gingered, empowered to do some of the things they have done, even now that the power hasn't transitioned into your hands yet?
Well, I'm saying that some overzealous security officers must know that power has changed hands.
Dr. Tanko, let me take you to what you just said a few seconds ago. You just said that we don't have the power yet. So it is the onus lies on the security. In the next breath, you are saying that they should see that power has changed hands. Which one are we to take?
Look, do you know why I'm saying power has changed hands? The Ghanaians, the good people of Ghana, they have voted overwhelmingly for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and NDC. Nothing can change it. You can't stop it. We are just following through a constitutional process. But as we speak now, we have an incoming government. Whether you like it or not, you can't do anything about it.
So Dr. Tanko.
So I'm saying that. So the fact that the official handing over has not taken place doesn't mean that power has not changed. If you are a security person, they know it. Your allegiance is to the state, not to political party.
Yesterday's action, which involved Malik Basintele, wasn't something which, it wasn't any allegiance to anybody. It was an altercation that your communications officer, your deputy communications officer, used some words that people thought that he should exercise restraint in his speech lest he loses the goodwill of the Ghanaian people, threatening a state official, a security official, and for what? Dr. Tanko, don't you think that it is something that is worth looking at?
Yeah, I repeat, the security services, their allegiance is to the state and not to political party. That is the problem we have with them. The problem we have with some of them is that they think that their allegiance is to MPP party and not to the state of Ghana. That is their problem.
So, Dr. Tanko, you're not going to. You are not condemning what?
Condemn what? I'm saying that. Look, let me tell you. You know what happened even yesterday at the National Coalition Center. Aniel had the same problem with another young security officer.
So, Dr. Tanko, you are not condemning his threatening of the security officer.
Oh, I am saying that he did not threaten him.
Dr. Tanko, should we play the video for you?
Oh, I'm saying that, look, you see, the way you are describing it as threat, he was just telling him that he should know that after 7th January, your allegiance you are giving to the NPP people right now will not be there. Because NPP will not be in power after December 7th, January 7th. They will be out. Wasn't
the security officer doing his work as a security officer?
What is he doing his work? You don't know what I'm talking. I'm telling you, what are they doing their work? Yesterday, I had to hold myself. And I told the officer that, look, I've been where you are before. I've been in state security before, and I know what I'm talking about. Be careful. This attitude is not good. You see, sometimes it takes time for them to know.
Okay, so we'll establish contact more with Dr. Rashid Tanko and then have more conversation. Yesterday, a video surfaced of the Deputy Communications Officer for the NDC, Malik Basintele, where he was threatening a security officer about 7 January about his position and all. On social media, conversations came up about it where some said that he should calm down so that he does not lose the goodwill of the Ghanaian people and all. So I was asking Dr. Tanko if some of these actions don't go in a long way to egg supporters on, to give them a certain feeling that they can do certain things, and that's what we are asking Dr. Tanko about. He says that we should not say the supporters of the NDC were looting. If there's anybody to use that word on, we should use it on the NPP, who he says have looted the nation's resources over the past 8 years. The supporters were just overzealous in so to speak, because they were sick and tired of how the NDC has ruled the nation. It's for that reason why I was asking him if the actions of some leaders in the NDC will rather not adversely affect them on all of these. Dr. Tanko.
Yes, dear.
Yes, we have you back on. We lost you when you were making a submission.
Yes, so I'm saying that, look, when you are recruited into the security service, we know some of them, they are party boys, they are party activists. But as soon as you are recruited into the security services, your allegiance is to the state, not your party again. But that is a problem we have currently. Some of them, they don't know that they are now wearing state security apparatus. They are no more party boys. But they don't want to delink themselves from that. You will still see them behaving as if they are party boys. Meanwhile, you are wearing police uniform. You are wearing military uniform. You are no more a party boy. So you should be measured with your behavior. So if I see your behavior towards me, and it's like because you see me, I'm an NDC officer, and you think that because you are an NPP boy now in state security,
Dr.
you want to be.
You said that yesterday.
I won't take kindly with you.
You said yesterday you nearly had an issue Can you update us on what it was?
I'm saying that, yes, I came to the place at the National Collation Center. Who doesn't know me? I'm a known person there. Everybody knows me. As the Deputy National Director of Elections, I was coming to do my job. Clearly, that was for collation. And I went there. I have my agents there. I went there myself. Yes, they recognized me. I moved with my personal security. He's my aide. Now, yes, he's not allowed to enter. He brought my documents. We came inside. Then you followed up and started threatening him to the extent he held his back, his trousers, as if a common criminal. When you arrest a common criminal, you hold his trousers back and pull him up. I nearly slapped him. He was lucky. I told my friend, what is that? What is the meaning of that? What behavior is that? Why? Leave him. Take your hand off from him. So you see, this is an MPP boy. I know him very well, who has been recruited into the security. And because he knew that they have lost massively, the pain in him, he couldn't control it. He wanted to vent it on my personal aid. I warned him severely. I said, these are the things you people do and create anarchy, create insecurity in the country, and then people will now be blaming politicians and other things. So this is the problem I'm talking about. His colleagues were even mad at him for what he did. So you see, if the man has misbehaved towards Basintali, I was not at the scene.
Okay. Dr. Tanko, so for Malik Basintali's own that we are talking about, it was a heated argument that erupted between him and a police director of CID over a gun brought to the regional EC office. So although he and his bodyguard had agreed to return the gun, after a second security check, the situation escalated when the CID confronted them after the argument. And then the video, and I asked you if you wanted us to play the video for you. In the video, you hear him threatening the security officer. My question is that, saying that after 7 December, you will step down from your office. Does he have the authority to tell a CID, a security person, that after 7th December, you will step down from your office? The power hasn't been handed over to you already. Doesn't this create a precedent that may come back in the long run to bite you because of such words?
Dear, we are in the era of AI, artificial intelligence. I can't authenticate the old.
Dr. Tanko, if you want, we'll play this video for you.
Oh, I said that playing the video doesn't mean it has been authenticated. You know, during the campaign era, you saw a lot of things.
You're saying that this video is AI because we are in a period of AI.
I'm saying that I've seen it. You know, it's my field too. So I'm saying that muzzling somebody's voice and introducing overlay voice on it, it's all over the place. I'm saying that I cannot authenticate it. But I'm saying that Malik Basintali, mirroring what happened to me yesterday, and because I have been there before and I know the behavior of these people, if he was my shoe, he would have acted the same way.
So, Dr. Tanko, you will also have threatened a security person that they will lose their office.
That is why I am saying that I'm calling on overzealous security officers to know that their allegiance is to the state. So when they see
the allegiance to the state is why this confrontation happened about a gun brought to the coalition center. Are guns allowed in coalition centers, Dr. Tanko?
Oh no, you see, I'm coming. Guns are not allowed. Yes, they said it. Guns are not allowed. But you see, you are in a state where state security will come with guns and shoot people at the coalition center. You saw what is happening at Hakwanota. Do you know why they couldn't collect their results? I'm sure you have the videos too. You saw how they were shooting at them at the coalition center. One person lost his life there. I have the video, I have the pictures here. The man is lying full of blood under a table. Coalition center, shot by state security. Okay, so if state security can come and unleash these brutalities, this brutish life, on the innocent Ghanaians. And I'm going there. Do you think that I should go there with empty hands? I'll go there with my
means that everybody.
But I'm saying
so
that,
what if yesterday everybody who came to the coalition center came with guns?
Came with guns with what? Did you see people parading there with guns?
No,
Did you see people holding guns and that? I'm just telling you to be forewarned, and it's for armed.
Okay.
You went deaf. Is that what you are looking for?
So, Dr. Tanko, yours is that to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Of course.
And you don't condemn the comments by your Deputy National Communications Officer.
I am saying that what the gentleman did to me yesterday, and because I held myself and said, look, Master, behave. And his colleagues came in and even warned me that I shouldn't do that. I know him very well. We've been in the field. He's an MPP man. But today, he's a state security. He's wearing state security. I respect you for that. But remove that your political colors in your shirt and continue to wear your state security dress and stop misbehaving. That is one we are looking from them. And so we're saying that so long as you are recruited in there, just behave like a state officer. But don't come there and want to vent your own anger on us because your party lost. That is what we are telling them. And I'm saying that Basantali is an educated person. He knows what he's doing. He's one of our communication, one of our best communicators in this country and our party ever had. And he knows what he's talking about. I'm sure you guys were not there. You are just playing the tape and want to use that one to analyze what transpired there. I'm sure you didn't look at the other side of the coin. If you are listening to the other side of the coin, I'm sure you won't come to this conclusion that he was threatening somebody. No, why would he threaten somebody?
Well,
threatening him for what?
Dr. Tanko, we are grateful for your time. We'll have more conversations with you on this. But again, congratulations to the NDC on winning the elections.
I'm grateful. We'll invite you for the celebration. We'll invite you. ABC News.
All right,
we'll
Dr.
invite
Tanko.
you to be part and parcel of our celebration.
Okay.
And it is well with us.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is the Deputy Director for Elections and IT at the NDC. And that's all for our main discussion today. Let's take a break. When we return, politics today.
This is where the headlines are probed. Policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program, also to address a temporary issue.
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question.
Okay, go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television. The headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program, also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television. This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program, also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that head-on?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the parade to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television. This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament. The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that head-on?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the parade to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television.
Hello there, good morning. You are welcome to today's segment of Politics Today with me, Samuel Nyemabo. This is December 10th, 3 days after the December 7th election, a day after the declaration of the general elections for the presidential elections. We know that the president-elect is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, following that campaign win he secured, getting some 56.55% of the ballot of the vote. However, there remains some contention in some 9 constituencies across the country. Yesterday, where the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, revealed that the result for 9 constituencies are yet to be received despite the declaration of the outcome of the 2024 general elections. The constituencies include the Ewutusenya East, Nsawam Adwojiri constituency, Akwetia, Suhum, Techiman South, Dom Kobenya, Ablikuma North, Ahafo Anu North, and Damango. These constituencies have been in contention over the result especially for the parliamentary side, which has affected the general declaration, including the presidential results in these constituencies. But she further explained that even if the vote of the second place candidate, in this case, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, were combined with those of the other contenders, they would still not surpass the vote of the leading candidate, which is John Dramani Mahama. So she went ahead to declare the presidential ballot in favor of John Mahama. But we are going to look at the 9 constituencies in focus here today on Politics Today. We are going to look at what is really happening, what are the main issues in these constituencies, what are the contentions, and we understand that violence have occurred in some of these constituencies. A few days ago, I think 2 days ago, our reporter on the grounds in the Savannah region gave us a report on some violence occurrence in the Damongo constituencies, where the district office of the Electoral Commission was set ablaze over what some of the supporters believe to be delay in the declaration of the result. As a result, the EC were not able to declare who was the parliamentary candidate elect for the Damongo constituency. You will remember that before the elections, we went to Damongo and we analyzed what really would happen in Damongo and how tough that competition would be between lawyer Samuel Abu-Jinapor and Mutawakilu of the NDC, and it didn't disappoint. There was serious competition there, which culminated into violence occurrences, leading to the burning of the EC office. Whilst we do not support violence here on ABC News Ghana, as we have preached over the period. We said that vote not violence. We anticipated that the contest in Damongo will be a very tough one, and it proved to be so. As a result, the returning officer, took to his ran from the district office when the office was set ablaze. He ran from the office. He wasn't able to declare the result. Just yesterday, the EC, the Electoral Commission, sent a new returning officer to the constituency who went ahead to collate all the results, and then he made a declaration declaring that the incumbent MP for the area, Samuel Abu, has retained his seat in the constituency. Let's quickly take a look at that declaration from the reappointed returning officer in the Damongo constituencies, and we'll come back to get to understand what really is still the situation in Damongo and whether this declaration has brought finality to the issues, or there still remains some contention happening in Damongo. So let's quickly get to listen to the declaration made by the reappointed returning officer for the Damongo constituency.
As you know, the Damongo election suffered some mishaps of the place being vandalized by a mob, as a result of which has delayed the declaration of the result up to now. I've been directed by the Electoral Commission to conduct this election as the returning officer, because we can't for now trace the whereabouts of the substantive returning officer. We have earlier on had an agreement with the political parties that we should go ahead and collate the presidential and then the parliamentary election result for the Damongo constituency for the 2024 general elections. This is the conclusion of it. Following the collation of the results, we have the following as the votes obtained by the various contesting candidates in the Damongo parliamentary elections. Honorable Jinapor Samuel Abdullahi had 16,222 valid votes. Honorable Adams Mutala Wakilu had 14,425 votes. Honorable Saka Baba Moses has 66 votes. Clearly, the one who has won this election as is the Honorable Jinapo Samuel Abdullahi. He's the one who has won the parliamentary election for the Damangu constituency. I therefore, as the returning officer, declare him the MP elect. Thank you very much.
Right, so that was the reappointed returning officer for the Damangu constituency declaring that Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo has won the parliamentary contest in this constituency. You would remember that on the night of December 7th, when the result has started trickling in, some supporters of Adam Mutawakilu believed that they had won the election, so they started jubilation. Then again, later in the night, somewhere from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., the dawn of December 8th, we saw Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo leading his supporters to also jubilate what he believed he has also secured the victory. The next day, which was Sunday, December 9th, we saw, which was Sunday, December 8th, the next morning, we saw violence occurring in the constituency where the NDC supporters believed that the EC was delaying in declaring the results. So they turned to the head office, the district office of the Electoral Commission, trying to get questions or answers to why the EC wasn't declaring the results. As a result of the whole situation, there was some violence, shooting happened. A person was believed to have died as a result of the incident and the violence that occurred over there. We want to understand that the declaration that was made yesterday, has it brought finality to the situation in Damangu? Has it calmed down nerves? Has it brought peace to the area? And that's why we want to go live to Damangu in the Savannah region, and we are joined by our correspondent from the Savannah region, Mudasiru. Mudasiru, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother, and thanks for having me.
Right, Mudasiru, the last time we spoke, you told us that you were hidden yourself in a bush reporting because of the violence that had occasioned the Damangu constituency as a result of the elections. What is the situation now in Damangu? Has peace been restored to the area?
My brother, good morning, and good morning to everyone. In fact, there is complete confusion in Damangu. Earlier, we saw a memorandum of understanding purportedly coming from the Electoral Commission about parties agreeing to a collation of presidential and parliamentary results. And if you allow me, I will take our people through that MOU that the EC used to allegedly continue their collation and eventually declaring of the results.
All right, go ahead.
It means agreement among political parties and the Electoral Commission on the way forward with the 2024 general elections in the Damangu constituency. We, the undersigned, have agreed among ourselves on the above subject matter as follows: A, to assemble the statement of polls together for both parliamentary and presidential elections. B, collate the results for both elections. C, declare the winner of the parliamentary elections and announce the summary of the presidential election results. D, in the event that all the political parties and the Electoral Commission are not able to gather all the statements of poll for all polling stations within the Damangu constituency for the conclusion on the elections, the matter shall be referred to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission for a final decision. So if you take a look at the MOU, you have Mr. Johnson Akafia. He is the regional director for Savannah region for Electoral Commission. We also have Salisu Biarubi. He is the regional secretary of the NDC in the Savannah region. We have Isa Mohammed, regional secretary of the NPP in the Savannah region, and Ombongra Haruna, he represented the CPP. All of them pending their signatures to this MOU. Now, the EC having had these 4 personalities sign the MOU, decided to collate and declare the results. And that is where the confusion is coming from. Now,
where is the confusion again? Where is the confusion?
I am saying that this MOU gave the Electoral Commission the power, if you like, to continue with the coalition and eventually declaring Samuel Abu Jinapor.
Yeah.
This didn't go down well with the NDC fraternity and the parliamentary candidate for the Damongo, Honorable Adam Mutawakilu, who immediately after the declaration came out with a communique, in fact, a protest. He wrote officially to the Electoral Commission and petitioned the regional chairman, NDC Savannah, the regional secretary, NDC Savannah, and he gave this to the press. Now, his protest reads, if you allow me.
Go ahead.
Adam Mutawakilu protest reads, my attention was drawn to a memo titled Agreement Among Political Parties and Electoral Commission on the way forward with the 2024 general elections in the Damongo constituency, quote and unquote. This memo was purported to have been signed by Honorable Salisu Biarobe on behalf of the National Democratic Congress of the Damongo constituency. I, as the parliamentary candidate in the elections, was not informed, and I did not sanction any individual or group to sign any such agreement which could on me. Therefore, I write to vehemently protest against any agreement reached and to draw your attention to the fact that I am not bounded by the said agreement. Thank you. And he signed. So this raised a whole lot of eyebrows. The NDC, in fact, they came out in their numbers and agitated, looking for the regional secretary who allegedly went and signed an MOU at the blind side of the candidate. Now, this morning, as I speak to you, every member of the NDC in the Damongo constituency have gathered. In fact, they are gathering because the parliamentary candidate, Adam Mutawakilu, will be addressing the media shortly. And so at 10 o'clock, he will be telling the press about the next line of action. Just before you called me, now the secretary who has been accused of going to sign this MOU at the blind side of the party also came out with a strong response.
What is he saying? Summarize. Is he saying that?
Yes. So he's also saying that he, in fact, there wasn't any coalition, there wasn't anything legally, because himself is a lawyer, and he went there by virtue of an invitation that the electoral director asked them as inter-party members to come for them to discuss people that they arrested and sent them out of Damongo, for them to look at the way forward in bailing them. So he got there, and after leaving there, the news came out that all of them had agreed to these things. I just took you to
he's also saying that he hadn't agreed to any recollation or continuing with the collation and declaration of the result.
Yes.
So it means that he's saying that the EC
he gave about 12 points, 12 facts to the issue, and he has strongly denied his participation in all of these.
So he's saying that the EC is lying on his head.
Yes, that the EC is lying, and he's very prepared to go all out to also make sure that the right thing is done. That he didn't do that.
Okay.
First of all, he's a lawyer and he's mindful of anything that he's doing or that he can do.
All right, now let's go back to the situation in terms of peace. You like I mentioned earlier, you had to run for your life to hide in a bush to even give us a report.
Sure.
What is the situation now? Is it still tensed as it was 2 days ago?
It's still tense. The only thing that we are not witnessing is the shooting. It's still tense. You have military men walking all over the place. You have both parties still celebrating. So it's still tense. It's very tense. People, in fact, the people don't even know what is happening. This moment, they say Gallus is the winner. There are another moment, they say Jinapor is the winner. And so, to be sincere with you, people are, in fact, we are still tense here.
So the situation is still not resolved. Let's look at...
I can confirm to you that it is still like how it was.
But
nothing has changed.
Okay, I have seen a communique from Samuel Abu-Jinapor, his Twitter page, where he acknowledged the declaration made by the EC going ahead to thank the constituent. Have you seen him make any public appearance in Damongo since this declaration?
In fact, when the shooting was ongoing, he fled town and never returned.
So the
people are even saying they don't know his whereabouts.
As we speak, he's not in town.
He is not in town.
But Mutawakilo is in town.
Mutawakilo is in town with the people.
Wow. And what has the security been doing, especially the police task force in charge of elections, the elections task force? What have they been doing to manage the situation? Have they been doing some engagement with both parties?
My brother, if I want to be sincere with you, yesterday about 4:50 there about in the evening, you have our market women who some of these military men visited and told them that they should pack their things and go home. The market women, in fact, most of them called me and told me that the military had visited them and the military is telling them that they should pack their things and go home.
Why?
Because, in fact, they didn't tell them the reason. They didn't tell them the reason. And this raised a whole lot of eyebrows. Few minutes later, we had called that the military had taken over the Regional Electoral Commission office.
Which is still in Damongo there.
Which is still in Damongo there. And that was where, if you watch the video keenly, you realize that that wasn't a collation center. It was an office. And that was where this purported declaration was done. And if you also watch the video and listen to the video keenly, you realize that the man who sat in for the Damongo constituency elections, you know, the returning officer for the Damongo elections, according to him, is nowhere to be found.
Yes, that's what he said in the video.
And so he had received directives to sit in and do it for him.
All right. So Mudasiru, thank you very much for your report on the situation. But we want to encourage you that you keep yourself very safe in this time of, like you mentioned, still a tense situation in Damongo. But before you go, finally, Mudasiru, if you can help us, we understand that the violence led to some death. How many people have been recorded to have passed on?
Yes, two people lost their lives
on the Sunday incident.
Yes. 2 people. We are 2 casualties.
All right. Thank you very much. Very unfortunate situation.
All of them being farmers. They returned from their farm, and upon seeing people gather, they decided to also stand by and have a look at and observe the situation, only for them to be shot, eventually lose their lives.
All right, that is a very unfortunate situation in Damongo. Mudasiru, thank you for your report this morning, and we hope that the situation will be calmly resolved, and the two parties, the NPP and NDC, will come on board to come to an agreement to the way forward, because we can't continue to lose life because of elections. We said it in 2020. We lost about 8 lives in Tenchiman South, and this was supposed not to happen in 2024, but we are seeing same happening. Is rather unfortunate. Now let's move our attention from Damongo to some other constituencies that are under contention, especially the Eastern region. In the Eastern region, we have 2 constituencies under contention. They are parliamentary results under contention. We have actually 3, not 2. We have in Nsawam Adrojiri constituency, where Frank Annoh-Dompreh, the NPP candidate, is facing stiff competition from the NDC. The NDC have gone ahead to declare themselves winners of the elections. The Nsawam Adrojiri NP majority chief whip, I beg your pardon, is also insisting that he has also won the elections. The whole situation has brought chaos to Nsawam. Then there is Suhum constituency, where chaos also erupted at the coalition center, where some supporters of the parliamentary candidates stormed the center, forcing the officials, the electoral officials, to halt the coalition and the proceedings there. Then from Nsawam, we have Akwetia as well, another contention in the Akwetia constituency. So there are 3 constituencies in Eastern region currently under contention, the parliamentary result, and we understand that the issues mostly are the coalitions are supposed to resume today, this morning, from somewhere 10 a.m. We understand that the EC will resume the coalition this morning from 10 across these 3 constituencies to try and finalize the results of the constituencies. So we want to cross over to our reporter in the Eastern region to see what really is happening. What is the situation in the Eastern region, especially in the Nsawam Adrojiri constituency, Suhum, and the Akwetia constituency. And our reporter joins us on the line. Good morning, you welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, and thanks for having me.
Right, I remember that we had this engagement on Nsawam and what the situation really was like in Nsawam, and you gave us a report that the ND supporters had stormed the coalition center, saying that they have won the elections. The NDC parliamentary candidate was in a jubilant mood, but we have Frank Annoh-Dompreh still insisting that he has also won the elections. Can you tell us what the situation is really in Nsawam this morning?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me make a quick correction. The constituencies in contention, so far as the parliamentary results is concerned, are 4. You made mention of 3, and let me add that there is Fanti Akwa constituency.
Right, thank you for the corrections.
All right, bro. Okay, so there was a deadlock at the Eastern Regional Coalition Center on Monday, that's yesterday, over the Nsawam Adrojiri constituency results. The Electoral Commission had called for a meeting to resolve parliamentary election disputes in some constituencies following Saturday's elections. So when the parties got the NDC executives present at the EC office blamed the Nsawam Adrojiri MP Frank Annoh-Dompreh for the tension, accusing him of refusing to concede the defeat to the NDC candidate in the hotly contested parliamentary primary. The situation escalated when a follower of Annoh-Dompreh threatened to beat the original NDC organizer, Lakman Seydou Tabori, if he confronted the MP. This led to a near free-for-all fight between supporters of both parties, prompting police intervention led by the regional commander, DCOP Emmanuel Tunisia Ankara. The both later got opportunity to meet the EC boss here in the region. The NPP candidate, Frank Annoh-Dompreh, was able to provide some pink sheets to the 203 constituencies. However, the NDC couldn't provide any. So upon further details, the EC mentioned that they cannot use those pink sheets that the NPP provided to decide on the results or the outcome of the elections. So he admonished that they send the matter to national to
declare,
take the final decision and also make official declaration as to who have won that constituency. So this is what really happened. However, if you come to the constituency, both MPP and then the NDC are claiming that they've won the seat within the constituency. So if you come to the constituency, this is what is actually happening at the moment. And so this morning, I have been speaking with the NDC constituency secretary, who happens to be Noah Abeku, on the matter, and he's saying that since the ECR directed that they go to national, that's what they are going to do. And the MPP communications director, Nana Kumia, has also been saying that.
So, Mafu, you are saying that they are moving the coalition to, or the whole issue to the national level. When is it expected to be dealt with at the national level? Is it today?
Yes, please. They expect them to expedite the whole process quickly. So it's expected that both parties will move to the national from today.
Right. Now, let's go to the Suhum constituency, another constituency under contention. Really is the issue in Suhum, and how has that affected the the situation, the peace and tranquility in the Suhum constituency?
Okay, so let's do a quick throwback in Suhum. Over the years, when you come to the Suhum constituencies within the region, Suhum has become one of the first points so far as elections are concerned. Whenever within the internal parties start to contest, in fact, among themselves, there is some kind of fisticuffs that happens there. So we all anticipated that the contest was going to be heated, and it's actually going to be in this format. However, the Electoral Commission slated that the Suhum matter be resolved today. So they asked both parties to come to the regional coalition center to ensure that the official declaration will be made there.
So however, the Suhum one is going to the regional coalition center?
Yes, so it's expected that they will be at the regional coalition center today.
Because of time, Osemafu, how about the Akwetia one? Where is he expected to be dealt with? At the constituency level or regional or the national?
In fact, we've not heard anything about that. But it's expected that they will also come to the region for region to make final declaration to that issue. And let me chip in that yesterday the Fantiakwa North matter was there, but the candidates almost nearly exchanged blues there, so they couldn't resolve the matter as well.
So the Fantiakwa one is also expected to be resolved today.
In fact, they couldn't set a date for that one.
Right. Osemafu, thanks for your report. We'll be coming back later in the day to gather what really has transpired in the Eastern region, 4 constituencies under contention in this region. This is a situation that has brought a sort of tense situation in these constituencies. If you look at the Nsawam constituency, for example, there has been chaos there. Akwetia, for example, another very tense area, and then Suhum, where we have the NPP contesting against someone who came from their party, an independent candidate contesting in this year's result, also bringing a sort of tense situation in the region, in the constituency. Then we have the Fantiakwa one as well. We hope that these constituencies have their issues resolved so that we can all move forward. From now, it should be moving forward and transitioning to a new government that has been elected by the good people of Ghana. And that's how much time will buy me today on politics today. Like we always say, let us not indulge in any act of violence. We have finished voting, so it's not even about voting, not violence. It's about ensuring that the coalitions are done in a peaceful manner, and let's ensure that things are done in order. Leave the issues to your party agents and the electoral commissioners, they know how to deal with it. The party supporters that throws these coalition centers to cause chaos, rise tension and all of that, it's not necessary. Leave the issues to trust your party agent, trust the electoral commission, trust your party agent and the security services to handle this situation. Yesterday I was at the Greater Accra Regional Coalition Center, and some constituents from the Ablekuma North constituency were also there trying to protest against the EC delay in declaring the result in Ablekuma North. We saw party supporters, the NDC executives, regional executives, national executives were all at the place. Today, that constituency is expected to be resolved. The EC has set 10 a.m. this morning to resume the coalition and see who has won within the constituency. In all of this, let's keep the peace and calm of the country. And like I said, that's how much time will be here on Politics Today. Abuna Mante will come and close with you.
This is where the headlines are probed, policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it's a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Go on.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that head-on?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television.
Samuel Nyimagbo, you're still watching ABC in the morning. Up next is Happy Hour. Happy Mamaya is the segment that allows you to send the best wishes you have for your friends, loved ones, and your family. So if you want to send any wish, just get in touch with us via socials. Send us a message on our socials at ABC News GH _ and we'll be glad to do that for you. We have a birthday wish. Let's wish somebody who's celebrating. Just happy birthday, Mamaya. Wishing you a blissful birthday, and this is coming from Deborah. So Deborah wishes Mamaya a happy birthday. We pray that the year is a wonderful one for you and you achieve everything that you pray for. Happy birthday, Mamaya. This is from Deborah. For happier today. On this note, we end ABC in the morning. We are glad you stayed with us, especially all through the weekend when you brought to you everything about the elections. The Poll Center, your guide to credible elections. Like we say on Poll Center, votes not violence. The voting part has passed. The rest is as we all come together as a nation to continue from where we are. We want to keep reminding you that all that is needed is peace. Don't allow yourself to be used as a tool or conduit for any form of violence. Your life matters to you, it matters to your family, it matters to us as Ghana, and the peace of the nation reigns supreme. If the peace will continue to reign, it will be dependent on you and I, because the nation's peace hinges on us. Please and please again, if there's any situation that will cause you to burst out into violence, any form of violence, please disengage, move away from it, and maintain the peace that we have. Take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself and I also take care of myself, collectively we'll be taking care of the nation. We pray that the week is a wonderful one for you. Today is Tuesday. There's still some more days in the week, and I hope that everything you set your mind to, you will be able to achieve them.